Hello and welcome to the Tachyon Mind, and this will be a channeled reading. So if you have been noticing crows, if you've been noticing synchronicities, if you've been noticing butterflies, this reading may be for you. Okay, so let's go over some stuff. Let's chat for a second, shall we? So the chatter is over. The messenger flies. No more illusions. And no room for lies. I dive through the water. I pull up the truth. The fire is rising. The cycle is through. So if you feel like you're in this cycle, like you don't really know what's going on, but you can see the stark contrast of it all. If you're seeing crows, like I said, anything like that, this reading may be for you, so you might want to stay tuned. So maybe you're hearing crows call. Okay. So I had this incident where a crow or 4 crows were, so the number 4 might be significant for you. 4 crows were flying around. They were perched in a tree, and then they started to fly across the riverbank. They were calling to each other. All right. And one dove into the river and caught a fish. So we're hunting, right? They were hunting. I also saw a couple of butterflies, which represent transformation. I seen a little black and white bird that was sitting on my back deck looking through the glass. Okay. So for some of you, it's okay for them to look in and you to look out, but there's this energy where you got to know when you cannot open the door. Okay. So pulling in the bigger energy for the forward progression, some of you are being asked to remove your energy currency from a situation where it's not going to change anything. Walk away from the fight. Okay. So this eagle, or I said eagle, excuse me, this crow, it's a crow. When it dove into water, water represents connection, depth, roots, inner world, emotion, energy and motion. Okay. And it caught this fish. It was showing you in a way what you must do. What you must do. Extract the objective, which is the truth, and face reality. So some of you might be dealing with situations where you're having to face the reality of something. Okay. What is this truth that you are extracting? Well, you cannot fix, change, or win an argument with someone who operates in an energy of not understanding. So maybe they lack morality, maybe they lack heart, maybe they themselves lack truth. So if you see a situation where there's some turbulence in the energy, and you'll know if this is for you, don't try to make it fit. If you see a situation where there's a lack of truth, a lack of, most of you might be feeling that because that just fell, a lack of truth, heart, or morality, any energy that you spend fighting this situation or fighting this person is literally a wasted energy currency. The crow did not stand on the bank arguing with the river. It did not do that, right? It didn't do that. It dove in, it took what it needed, which is the truth, and it left the rest behind. So some of you might be really looking at a situation where you've kind of tried to vocalize your point, you've tried to do these things, it's not making any sense, okay? You can't reason with this energy. So there is a stripping away of the fog. It almost feels very Neptunian, but there's a stripping away of the fog. because there's this necessity to grant you this unfiltered truth. Okay. See with stark clarity. And why is that? So you can put your weapons down and you can walk away. Because, excuse me, some of you guys may not be speaking this or speaking up, or maybe you're holding back. Okay. So there's sudden cuts and exposures that are happening in the energy right now. Exposure of lies, gaps, deep-seated deceptions. The universe is silencing the static, is what I've been calling it, but you can call it the chatter. It's silencing the chatter so you can see the situation with absolute precision. I was going to do 2 different channeled readings, but because I'm getting this absolute precision, I also seen a praying mantis. And a praying mantis does not impulsively strike. It waits patiently for the right time. Okay, so knowing when to make a move and when not to make a move. Okay. So there is an energy here where someone that you're in a disagreement with, is going to be friend, relationship, I don't care what it is, you apply what is here. And remember, you're always the one who knows what's going on. This is just affirmation. Don't try to make it fit if it's not your story. But there's a person that you're dealing with that does not have the capacity to meet you in honesty because they are lying to their self. But there's a pressure on emotions right now, a pressure on the foundation of things. Okay. And even some would say energetically emotional bonds. And I think that you're going through a clean out, right? We spring clean, we get the old things out to create space for new things. So there is this psychological clean out, we'll call it. Walking away from a dead end battle is not a sign of weakness. It's actually the ultimate sign of self-preservation. You're realizing that a person in your energy, a situation in your energy, has no heart. And that's a tough truth or a tough reality, okay, to deal with. So a lot of you may be feeling this energy. And you have this capacity to be in this ultimate higher ground perspective about a situation. And I feel like you're being asked or shown to step into your authority firmly. Turn away from the chaos. And I feel like for some of you, you might be really leaning into this energy of moving out of this survival role or the survival mode, okay, into a peace. Something has served its purpose, and the old structure is falling. And that might be hard for some of you. Maybe some of you are excited about that because the old way didn't work. But there's an irreversible pivot that is happening. And it's coming from an active choice, and I feel like it's from you, okay? And the truth is, you cannot step into the new into a new empowered cycle while you're leaving the door wide open to this chaotic shit or someone else's dysfunction or someone else's fear or someone else's whatever, lack of the beat of their heart. So you have to recognize the void, accept what you cannot expect from another. And I've always said we must see truly how a person treats their self, and we cannot expect to be treated any higher of a vibration than that. And you might feel like you need to remove your energy from people who have a lack of trust, heart, morality, because the fight is already over anyway. It's time to walk away. You know what I mean? Enforce a boundary. You need to treat your peace like a fucking fortress. Okay? If a connection is relying on dishonesty, mouthiness, and I'm not talking like playful banter. I'm talking they're just mouthy or constant emotional instability, lock that door and refuse to engage in that shit. Bye. See ya. Okay. Trust your extraction. Trust your truth. Trust your intuition. Your intuition pierced the surface of the water long before your logic could even catch up to the situation. Okay? Trust the red flags. Trust what you pulled into the light. Let the dead cycle fall. The butterfly whom I saw doesn't go back into the cocoon. Doesn't do that. All right? Stop trying to revive an argument with a past version of chaos because it's being cleared away. And I feel like when the crow called, it's non-negotiable. The crow has spoken. The water has yielded to truth. And your intuition has confirmed the shift. Stop trying to win a fight against an opponent with no rules and no heart or no heartbeat. Claim your peace. I was getting this energy about how nurses run into a situation when a heart stops. Now, maybe this will have a rhetorical meaning for you. But as a nurse, you know, we run to the person whose heart stopped. It's the moment that everything changes. Okay, so maybe you're responding to someone whose heart has stopped rhetorically. Okay. It's the second that you cannot hesitate. And that's when someone's heart stops. But we keep moving in that chaos. When seconds matter more than anything. Because as a nurse, your job is to save lives. That's what you do. And in that room, when that happens, you have a bunch of people that start to work as a team with one goal in mind, and that is to restart the heart, save the person's life. The team becomes one. Fear has to wait. Exhaustion has to wait. Because someone's counting on us. And while some of you may never get to know the outcome, okay, based upon free will, you know you were there when it mattered, and you know you did all you could. And that is the privilege of being a nurse or being a light worker. And so that is what energy that I was feeling. So let us pull some cards and see what we can get for you if this energy resonates for you. So, tough energy, very tough energy. All right, so we've got some truth here. We've got Sagittarius, South Node, 7th, and 2nd. So we've got some energy here about worth, what you're serving, what you're partnering with, what you're dealing with, and is it worth continuing to move forward because you have some sort of truth here. Sagittarius is the truth, and is this particular person, place, thing, insert here, whatever it is, willing to step out of a comfort zone, right? Because it seems like there is this energy where they continue to want to be in this energy of not accepting or seeing the truth. Can you show me the signs that are coming towards the collective watching this, please? Can you show me the signs? We've got an Aries, so Aries, Cancer. Show me the signs. I feel like a Sagittarius, and this could be you or the person you're dealing with. We've got double Cancer, so double moon energy. I feel like there's something with the moon and the nodes for you. So maybe this might be tapping into the energy flow of the next eclipse here that's coming in. Harsh truth, stark truth, right? Something is toppling over, or something isn't holding the ground that it once did. Got a Leo coming your way. You got a Libra, got a Virgo, got a Sag. Okay, potentially a Taurus. All right, let us see. Show me, please. Show me for those that resonate with this reading. I'm seeing 12, 12, and 14, 14. Told you. There's a cycle here that is completing. And for some of you, it's hard for your mind to even grasp it. Okay. But this is about your future. All right. This is about your future and knowing when to suspend your action. All right. Clarify the world, please. Universe. The Sun card. So some of you guys could be ending a romantic cycle, a creative cycle. Maybe you have a situation where your kids are moving out, or there's something here where, you really want to walk away from a situation so that you can have some sort of success. There's an energy here where you may want to feel your vitality again. So this is also about that energy currency, right? Like, have you been attached to someone that has drained your peace, drained your energy to where you're not feeling happy and optimistic, or you don't feel the best here? Because that's also sort of a red flag, I feel like, for you. But you're gaining self-confidence as you close this cycle. And maybe for some of you, this was about you really leaning in and trusting your intuition and gaining self-confidence here. This could definitely deal with the masculine side of your energy, or a masculine in general. It could be a Leo, okay, because the Sun card is here. But I feel like it's the most positive card in the deck, so we must look at the energies. We're closing a cycle in order to step into a yes, in order to step into vitality, in order to step into an energy of yes. of positivity, right? So you're justified in ending this cycle because you're looking for happiness, positivity, childlike wonder, creativity, okay? A lighter energy. It's just happiness. You're seeing that you must end something in order to be happy, right? We can no longer feed into the lies of someone who's unwilling to create some sort of rooting system or create some sort of a change that's necessary in order to come into a full connection to where there's just a feeling of like they're not fully engaged into it. Okay. We got a fish. Pisces energy here. You're seeing very clearly with the glasses. There's a frog, so maybe you're seeing like a lot of frogs or whatnot. There's a bat. There's a crab, so there could be emotions or home life or a Cancer energy. I have a unicorn. I feel like some of you are a unicorn here, and like someone is noticing that, but there's a lack of like moving forward. There's a bird on a tree branch, so maybe you're seeing birds here. There's a ladybug, so lady luck. So feminine energy, that's lucky. I see an airplane, so some of you could be like traveling or moving. I've got a bird here again. Looks like a finch. I have a horse, Sag energy, and then I've got a heart. So for some of you, it's like expansion, moving. It's like really seeing things for what they are. You know what I mean? It's seeing that what you bring and what you contribute, right? And that it's just time for you to sort of end this cycle of whatever this is that's sort of been taking your peace, confusing you, really leaning into this energy of happiness, right? Clarity is the biggest thing that's jumping out for me. So like seeing something clearly and this stark truth or the stark clarity makes it really difficult to unknow, right? And so it really makes you evaluate like who you are partnering with and whether that's valuable anymore. Okay. So as we proceed in the energy here, I feel like your intuition actually felt something before your mind or your logic could catch up here. And I feel like um, you tried to intellectualize a situation. You may have tried, and here's your intuition. You know what I'm saying? You can't even make this up. 10 of Wands. You knew your intuition was right. So I feel like you tried to really practically think about something here. Um, there was this energy of like patience and strength here, but I feel like for some of you, you may have talked yourself right out of your intuition. Like your intuition was very loud saying no, 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 no way. And you may have made excuses for a person's lack of action, a lack of expansion, a lack of truth, right? Lack of momentum. You tried to practically think about something like, why is this happening? And I feel like your intuition knew and your logic was trying to catch up. And I hear, I will blow your mind at what I alchemize. So it's like you're really, really feeling like this necessity to lean into um this spiritual side of you, okay, and really trusting that instinct and trusting that intuition as you proceed forward. And I feel like you've learned a lot about yourself and whatever the situation was here, a lot of self-discovery. um you know that there's this energy where you felt the need to pull back. This feels very Piscean. So I don't know if this is like a Pisces energy that I'm picking up here. I've got the moon, like Pisces energy, pretty strong here. It's not coming up as an actual sign, but it's interwoven into the energy itself. I'm seeing the letter D, F. I feel like you have been extremely busy, and it may be like this lack of solidarity. I don't even know if that's a word, but solidarity that allows you to recalibrate the intuition. Okay. But you're really examining, okay, you're really examining how you sometimes can logistically, I said logic, but how you can logically talk yourself out of your intuition, and you tend to change that cycle from henceforward, right? And let me tell you, the intuitive hits that are coming in is like bam, 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 because you're no longer questioning that where you once was before. I feel like the energy is picking up momentum here. Strength card, 10 of cups. Okay. So I feel like it's really helped you to proceed in this future energy, right? And you're moving forward where you're learning to detach from, and I feel like it's the north node in Aquarius. You're learning to detach from confusion, from things that rob your peace. And in choosing this and calling this out into the universe, I feel like you have a lot of news, a lot of messages, a lot of intuitive hits, and that might be why I'm getting the number 8. That might be why it's like boomeranging back around. So it's like you're seeing these synchronicities, right? 10. You're singing. I don't know why I said that. You're seeing, some of you might be listening to music, but you're seeing a lot of these synchronicities, and you're getting like really quick communication and your intuition. Okay. You feel very powerful as you lean into your own understanding, and you kind of lean off from trying to over logically analyze something here. And I feel like it creates an action, and it creates a force of energy here, of inner strength, right? You are sitting in the energy of peace and patience. And I feel like it brings your joy back to you, right? Brings your joy back to you. So, what do you have to look forward to as you proceed forward, to those of you who has moved through a very difficult truth or a difficult energy here, right? The crows have called. All right. What you extract truth wise allows you to be able to see this beautiful, exquisite balance between intuition and logic, right? There's a cohesion here, a ambidextrous, and it really helps you to be able to emotionally detach from a situation, or detach from something where there wasn't common sense of belonging, a common cause, right? You can't partner with someone who doesn't have the same common cause. Okay. That is an invaluable second house, seventh house. All right. You might be seeing a lot of sevens. Seven is very powerful here, right? If whether it's pointing to the seventh house of your partnerships, one-to-one relationships, love, adversarial, I don't know. You're going to have to insert here, but you will come to a point where there's this truth that's coming out in the things of the seventh house. And you will evaluate whether it's worth it. And with this energy coming up here, it really makes me feel like some of you was functioning in a Virgo energy where you thought that if you put enough energy into it, you could fix it. Take it as it resonates. Okay. But it was never about you fixing it. Okay. Because some things can't be fixed. Right. But it is to know that when it counted, you was present and you did all that you could. Okay. Knowing we were there when it mattered. Knowing that our presence had an impact, right? An impact that would ripple into the future. Some of you gave some perspective, or you gained a perspective, or you understood a truth that has rippled into the future, and it's been life changing. Okay. And you see how powerful you are. And I remember saying this in September's overall energy of the Tachyon Triage. I said, or maybe it was Leo, because this is coming out for Leo, because this is the strength card. You always have the power to free yourself, and you always will. So if something feels like it is not right, it may not be right. And intuitively, you may be ignoring that because you really want something to make sense. But sometimes love don't make sense, and lack of love certainly doesn't make sense. Okay. There could be also a methodical thought in someone who's dealing with your energy. Maybe they're here for something. So the energy is let go, and they'll be back. Move on. I mean, all of these energies are coming out air. Like, I feel like, if you have been having difficulty, like, someone certainly sees you. And I think the most important thing is that you see you, right? If you're one out here with this Pisces energy, it's okay to be compassionate. It's okay to be there when it counts, but looking and becoming dissolved and looking for something externally, like love and these things, it can be a problem because you're missing that crow diving into the water, is that everything you need is inside of you. Okay. So when you let go of a situation that's toxic, when you let go of a situation that is really, for lack of a better words, mind fucking you, you gain peace. You see clear. Okay. So there's an energy here that's requesting that you make room for something new, because something is trying to enter into your energy. Okay. But it's like you're still tripping over, thought wise, a situation that really has no vacancy in your etherical energy field. Someone is unavailable and a waste of time. And I know that's hard for some of you to hear. Now, this won't resonate for everyone. This is a channeled reading. Someone has really put you in your air energy. And for me, looking at the energy on the board, they put you in your mind so bad that you're not happy right now. Okay. It's confusing you, and you're not trusting your intuition. So if you get anything from this reading, it's lean into your intuition, trust your intuition. It's okay to give people the benefit of the doubt and be compassionate and being there when they need help, but we don't become dissolved completely in. And that's the lesson, right? We got to listen to what people tell us, and we've got to listen to what people show us. And we need to see if those two meet. And if they don't, any logical energy that you're putting into something is a waste, because they're already showing you that what they do and what they say does not match. So take it as it resonates. And if you resonate with this, it looks to me like if you lean into your intuition, you will create a very strong future focus here, a very strong intuitive flow, even, okay, as you proceed forward. And my card for the star card, healing, but it's the Awakener. So maybe you're waking up, or you are in this energy where you're able to heal something by detaching from it. Okay. By gently weaving healing throughout, following your light, your signal. and trusting that signal, because that is your strength. And that is what I got for you. So until next time, stay in your tachyon mind. Bye, guys.